What's up, everybody? It's your boy, The Big Shady Dory, coming at you as we talk about AEW action in this new wrestling landscape that I'm excited about. So let me stop talking my gap. Let me stop bumping my gum and just get down to the review. So we open up Dynamite with the Bucks doing a bit of a quick recap of what happened. They turned on Moxley last week. They're no longer pandering to the fans. We get that from the video package, but we're going to get it more when the match starts. But after you get your intro, we have MJF coming in trying to bribe Mike Tyson. And boy, he tried for the wrong one, because not only did he tell you no, not only did he rip paper in your face, he more or less threatened to knock you the fuck out. And you trying to go up against Mike Tyson and get your ass knocked the fuck out. Boy, you stupid. But then we get on with our opener for the night. I'm talking about the Young Bucks going up against Death Triangle's Pac and Ray Phoenix combination. And boy, oh boy, it did exactly what I expected. With the big outcomes coming that, first off, the Bucks, no more tethers, straps, none of that shit anymore. With fur coats and nice leather, with Nike Dior shoes, boy. I'm talking about coming out like basically the top dogs that we are, not flying new look suit, which I can get. I like the new look. And then they're coming back with the actual attitude that is reminiscent of the old Bucks, the Indies Bucks. Bucks that knew they were the best because they were the most exciting tag team of the decade, period, until, well, the Revival came into the mix. But we're not talking about that, because this fucking match, this fucking match was on TV for free. And this is a pay-per-view match, point blank, period. And these guys delivered on every level. And honestly, I would say the most exciting tag team in modern wrestling right now to me is going to be the tandem of Pac and Phoenix. I fucking love them. They're fast, they're intense, strikes and flyers. Oh my God, Pac being the hell of a technician. Going up against again the Bucks, who have really come back into their old ways, as well as mocking the fans that followed them from back in the day, talking about indie days, PWG days. I'm talking about Ring of Honor and NJPW days, early being the elite days. I am glad to see how much they have grown. I'm also glad that they're going back in it in a bit of a twist that it either fits because it's been so long that we've had a shitty attempt at them going heel, that honestly, where they are now and how they did it was perfectly right. But in this match, the thing that helps me give it the score I'm gonna give it tonight, on top of the fact that all these guys as tag teams are great, is the rivalry between Nick Jackson and Ray Phoenix. If you do not understand, I don't know what kicked it off, but it could be because they're the most exciting flying parts of their respective tag teams, with hella kicks, hella twists, and can perform some hella flips, that when they meet up in the ring, it's kind of like in an anime where two rivals automatically see each other. You don't even question it, they just go fucking right at it. Just like, ah! That's basically how this whole thing goes, and I fucking love it. Every minute of it. Excited. Got my blood boiled, and it elevated. Obviously, whenever the crunch break happened, I had to take a bit of a pause, but you know what? That's fine, because once they got back, we got right back to climbing to that peak of greatness, and we stopped just shy of it. Now, I say that because the way the match ended, it ended with the most obvious way for the Bucks to retain. They took the mask off of Ray, and hit him and took him to super kick. They took him to a super kick party. Dual super kick for the 1, 2, 3, while Pac was down. And you know what? If this means I can get a run back, let's say around All In, I'm fine with this. Maybe get a run back, get them to go at it one more time, maybe win the belt. depending on how many more actual contenders they can build from AEW's tag division. I'm just saying I'll leave it right there. But you know what? This was a damn good match, and like I said, this was so good. I'm giving it an A+. Now then, it's getting an A+. The thing that keeps from getting that S from me is a solid finish. That finish, while bullshit, while definitely proper for heels to do, is something I would not want in a definitive title finish. And that makes me feel like there's going to be more down the way with these guys. That's why I feel if we can get a run back, and if we're going to get a run back, I'm fine with that. Good. That's good. Next up, we get 2 backstage interviews, which is really interesting. Marvell was really putting in that money for the check today. As first off, he goes in to meet with Hangman Page, kicking it with the Dark Order, as he tries to ask him about his feelings about what's going on with his former friends, and Page basically deflects and kind of dips the fuck out of it, not addressing it. I like what they're doing with him, with the fact that he is the number one guy in AEW, not holding a belt, and has not made an effort, ideally, or what everybody expects, towards Kenny's belt. He's kind of just like neglecting it, but he's also not even putting a glance at the TNT belt, which also interesting. I kind of like that. I'm really excited to see where this goes and see when we're going to get the inevitable clash and rematch between Page and Kenny. And then after that, we have Chris Jericho backstage interview. Marvez over here making that money tonight, earning his paycheck, babies. Interviewing Jericho, who once again cements the Inner Circle's face turn, as he basically says that he's apologized to a lot of guys that he's wronged in the past. Even called him Mike Tyson. Apologize to him. They're good homies. Got that, and then Mike comes in to say that he's gonna call this straight, fair, down the middle, as you should for babyface. I'm down with it, and all those good feelings. But you know, it's just building more towards that. So we know that's gonna probably be. That's gonna be interesting to see how it goes. I expect a big clash. Okay, this is where I really get excited because we have 2 women's matches of the night. 2. And the first one is Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill. Second match of the night, the match to follow up that exciting tag team opener, which when there's an exciting opener for AEW, it's hard as fuck to follow. But I think the girls did a good job here. It's not even good enough. They just did a good job, period. As Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, beef stemming from when Jade was going around backstage beating up on Red, having beef with Brandy, took the arm out, getting hussy. And then, obviously the last match with the men, but ain't no men here. It's all women affair. And this thing gets bumping off. I'm talking about the moment Jade Cargill sets foot in this motherfucking ring, Red Velvet's on bumpers, we're hitting, kicking, swinging, evading, as Red Velvet's veteran skills or greater experience in wrestling gives her good opportunities to kind of avoid Jade. But Jade, she just powers through she powers through a lot in his offense, in Red Velvet's offense. While she's getting banged up, she's also not being destroyed, not being fucked up. So that means she's over here bustling through, coming back with her own strikes, even pulling off an impressive wheelbarrow toss into the crowd. I like it. We're going to get her working on that some more because that could be a very exciting part of her repertoire. I'm just saying. And it looks like Red Velvet actually on the comeback could get it. First, going with a standing moonsault, only getting the 2, so she wants to get a little greedy, wants to go for the top rope, wants to descend from the heavens to bless. Oh, Jade Cargill, almighty back. Jade, that's make the Lord. But unfortunately, you flew too close to the sun and the wings got burned, and she came crashing down, splat on the mat, and then got jaded for the 1, 2, 3. Jade gets the win. Is definitely on top of this feud right now. Now, if they want to revisit this in a little bit, I'm perfectly content with that. But for right now, let's see what Jade's going to do. How are they going to really build her? Is she going to be on Dynamite mostly? Or will they actually let her be on Dark Elevation to gain more experience? I don't know, but I'm excited to see all this going on in AEW's division. They need it so fucking much. This match for me, I'm going to give it a solid A. In-ring action wasn't in-ring action was not perfect. Was not perfection, but you don't need perfection to be great. You have an interesting story that's been built for so long. Women coming at it like they have real beef, like they really can't stand each other. Going, that's literally the minimum I need, and they gave to me just like I like it should. Good shit. Good shit. Afterwards, they have Britt Baker addressing the ranking system, where she's gonna be, the fact that she's got a match coming up, and that's the fact that she should be number one. Yada yada boom boom. I like that they're giving her more time to talk. It is also a good way to help plug in for Dark Elevation. That's fine. Next up, we have Anthony Ogogo's AEW debut, Dynamite debut, I should say, which it was a fucking squash match. Literally came in. I think we had a lockup. We had like a push in the corner, and then he just basically swung that fucking killer hook of his, wide swing, and just gut check Cole, I believe, Cole Carter into a KO. That's fine. Give him the Loki build that he had in MLW. You just have him come in, knock out jobbers. That's a good way. That's a good way to build. You don't have to do too much. Also, he's the governor. The governor. I know I'm cheeky for it. Hold on, wait. I know I'm a little cheeky for it, but I gotta enjoy it. It's just fun. It's just fun to say governor. All right. I'll let it go. I'm sorry. Okay, now we're back to the action. Ooh, sorry about that. I had to get the part of my head in line. Wait. Oh, okay. All right, I'm back. Miro has a little video basically addressing the fact that him and Kip, it's whatever, they'll deal with it when that time comes. But for right now, anybody that's got gold in AEW, just know, none of y'all are safe. Miro's coming. And he's taking that gold. Yeah, this is the Miro that I want, and I really want to like scream my ass off, but I got neighbors, so I can't do that, so we'll just get down here. As we go into Chris Jericho, going up against Dax Harwood in probably the hardest pure hands exchange of the night. Just pulverizing and beating the shit out of each other. Very little wrestling. Eventually, I mean, Tyson does a great job making sure nobody can use looks to fuck nobody up, which, good shit. Then, you know, Cash can't help himself. He tries to jump into the mix. Sammy attacks him. Then the Pinnacle comes out, and they're just clashing with the Inner Circle. Cash tries to get in again. Mike Tyson with Floyd. Tyson comes in. He just tells him, you gonna really do this? You fucking up, son. So what's he gonna do? He gonna take Floyd's slam, but guess what? It's Mike motherfucking Tyson. That arm goes up, he gets punched, he's laid the fuck out. You got your dumb ass knocked out. How you feeling, buddy? And then Jericho ended with the Judas Effect. It sounds more boring than it was, but least enjoyable match of the night, but still a damn good. But still an enjoyable match. I'm not gonna say damn good, just good and enjoyable. And post-match, Jericho inducts Tyson into the Inner Circle, which he's a face. Mike Tyson's a good name to be associated with. Their days of rivalry are over with, so alrighty, for me, all of that, it gets a decent B+. Like I said, I wasn't into the match as much as it was, and I do feel that Jericho was getting way too much offense early on. I think they should have been at a bit more of a near even level, but can't control how to do it, but it was okay. Afterwards, we have Marvez. Man is earning his paycheck tonight. Going and trying to interview the Super Elite, but first of all, they're on the way out. Don Callis comes in, basically says this is the beginning. We got more things in the way and looming, because we're just getting started. Kenny Omega basically runs down everybody who expects them to be a certain way and basically said they're going to do what they want to do. Matt does a Matt promo. It is Gallows is excited, possibly a bit horny. He might have went ahead and caught a kid a little early on in the day, because that's what he does, and probably waiting on the next one. And then it ends more probably than anything else with not the Bucks hitting the super kick, they kind of faint one, but Don Callis super kick the cameraman. Okay, what we want here is not from the ones that we want. As I said, we get another ladies match, which AEW for sure needs to incorporate more women's matches, at least 2 or 3. Please, give the women more time with Dynamite, or maybe give Dynamite more time, because I think Dynamite at this point could use an extra, but we have Chris Statlander coming up against Amber Nova. Amber Nova gets like a minuscule amount of offense in, and then more or less just gets that ass washed. It did its job, but you know, it's really. I will say Chris did get a hero's welcome, and I love that she's back. Definitely adds another big body, a big woman who can actually, you know, be a bit of a danger between her, Cargill, as well as Nyla Rose. That's pretty well I probably would mind. Say, oh wait, no, let's move forward. But yeah, that for me, it got a B+. I give it to it because it was better than just some random debut. It's not average, but you know, I was happy about it. You make me feel good. Make me feel good. Afterwards, Thunder comes in to address AEW fan base and let them know that she is back and that she is going to take over the world. No bitch is safe. Not Sheeta, who has the AEW Women's belt, which she wants. Nor Serena Deeb, who has the NWA Women's belt. So Thunder Rosa is now staking her claim to both of those belts. I'm excited. I'm excited to see more clashes and more Rosa because she deserves more time. Just yes, Lord. Yes. And then we also get it announced that we will be having the AEW Women's Championship match next week, as well as a fairly exciting card with Ricky Starnes going up against Hangman Page. We're gonna have Trent versus Penta, which yes, sign me up for more of that action, as well as Hobbs going up against Christian Cage. Why is that? Well, after the Chris Statlander match, Cage comes in, and he's over here basically talking about his father and how he's been challenged, yada. Taz comes out, they start talking shit to one another. So Hobbs comes in and lays Cage out, setting up him for his next program, which I don't need him in an extended feud with Team Taz. You give me Hobbs, maybe Ricky Starks, and that's it. And space it the fuck out. Don't make it every fucking week. I'm tired of these interview interruptions. That is going to become more annoying that's going to become almost as annoying with me as the women not getting enough time or on Dynamite proper. I swear to God, I hated the lack of women's matches. And even though I got two, one of them was a squash. So I still want more women's action in time. All these additional segments are good. I will take that victory. Now, the main event. I liked it. And I knew it wasn't going to be an in-ring classic. I knew there was going to be fuckery happening. All I'm going to say is this. Darby, goddamn boy, you put your body on the line. Boy, at some point in time, you got to slow this shit the fuck down and go pure technical because you are wrecking your body. You are my age. You're 28, I'm 27. My back's hurting looking at you, son. After that, it turns into what? Before Darby even mounts his first real comeback, it turns to total bedlam. Out comes the Hardy family office. They come and beat down Darby. Then comes Sting on with the Dark Order. So you have that clash. So it's total fucking bedlam. Everybody's fighting everybody. Then fucking All Ego Page and Scorpio Sky come out basically trying to pick on old Sting's Bones, who's dealing with Private Party. When out comes a Murder Hawk Monster, and I'm like, oh shit, Lance is about to go at it with fucking Sting. Nah, Ashley comes in, takes out Private Party, hits Isaiah Cassidy with the I don't know what he called the finisher. More than anything else. Hits that joint. Look at that Sting and goes off to do his own fucking thing. Because this is a Falls Count Anywhere match. Everybody's fighting every fucking body. Darby match still getting the beat out in between. I was more just distracted by everything else. I'm just in right down, but this is where, for me, overbooking took me out of it. Now I like seed planning between you have the HFO and the Dark Order. You have Matt going up against Matt, who has problems with Darby and Sting. You got Ethan Page and Ego trying to get their way in somewhere, beating on somebody. Lance Archer, who's encircling Sting. It's a lot, and I'm fine with a lot, but a lot can be too much. Well, it's not too much. Also, I should appreciate it because this match could not go as good as I think. If Matt ain't there to put on a really good match like he maybe could have some 10 years ago. And with Darby style, I don't see them meshing well without Matt somehow matching it. So the overbooking helps it, but hurts it in my opinion. Either way, it was enjoyable, and Darby Allin wins with a fucking ridiculous coffin drop. Not even the worst that it could be. He didn't go Shane level how, but he climbed the scaffold. I'd say to about an additional 5, maybe 10 feet to fall onto Matt Hardy on the announcer's table. So the Spanish announcer test that always gets fucked up in WWE. Looks like you're safe in AEW. But Darby gets the win. He retains. That's fine. That's cool. And if this is the end, perfect. I am down for that. Well, let's build towards Darby next contender. And I'm going to call it. This was a damn good night of wrestling. I mean, I don't know if I want to go as far as say it's the best episode of Dynamite, but as far as with me and my gradings go, this was the best all around. With me come out to say that this night ends with an A- on my part, and this was great. As far as I was never really bored. Some parts I felt were a little bit bloated, but still good. And now I'm just like excited for next week. I think that them not having a program against another show does help them a lot. Hopefully we can see it in the views, and hopefully, you know, them being more focused on them not having to worry about competing against NXT will do them some good. But I'm fucking tired. I'm about to go to sleep. Y'all have a good one. Peace.